There are questions to be answered this week. Who discovered Tom Hanks? What will happen with the Big 12? Who killed the Old West? What happens when Lyric Theater invades Jimmy's Egg? And most importantly, if you throw away your iPad and your iPhone, can you still recover them even hours later? No time to waste. It's time for NewsOK TV.
This is NewsOK TV.
This is NewsOK TV. Hi, I'm Dave Morris and welcome to NewsOK TV. Each week on this very show, we highlight videos that you can find around the clock on newsok.com. It's just a small example of the local content you can also find on the Cox channel, on demand in the free zone. My partner in high def, Angie Bruss, is on vacation, but don't worry, she filed a report for this show. But let's lead off with a mystery. Let's say, just for example, you're at work. You've just gotten to work and you've forgotten your iPhone, or worse, your newly purchased iPad. Does Apple's Mobile Me really work in helping you locate where your missing gear may be? Well, this is a story that happened to one of my colleagues here at Opubco. Just be glad it didn't happen to you.
So this morning I opened the garage door to leave for work and saw the trash trucks coming and realized it was a big trash day. So we had a bunch of trash. I had my iPad and iPhone in hand, threw my bag in the car and set my iPad and iPhone down quickly. And at that point's kind of fuzzy. I don't remember where I set it down. I think I set it like on a box, and then I went to take the bunch of trash out, and maybe I bumped it in there, and then took that out as well. My friend Billy, he had an iPad 3G handy so we can track where my iPad is and my iPhone. And apparently they are no longer where they were. They're on the road and moving, and we're having quite the time trying to find them. But we're just leaving when they're about probably 10 or 15 miles away. It was at 100% this morning, and we've been tracking it all day long. Every time you track it, though, it wears on the battery as it's trying to get the location. So, unfortunately, this website doesn't tell us what the battery's at. And if the battery dies, we'll just be out of luck. All right, so I'm sending it a sound. It's going to play a sound for 2 minutes. All right, it said the message was sent at 3:15. It's gonna play for 2 minutes. It's definitely not in there. So I guess we could walk by every one of these doors.
Can it show on this area? Right?
Yeah, it has GPS, and I may be able to locate it, and it shows it's like basically in this parking lot. So we can actually send it a message and play a sound really loud for 2 minutes straight. It just beeps, and we can't hear it anywhere. We're walking all around and stuff. Or on a trash truck, and
Is it a white one?
it is
Got ran over?
probably
Yeah. Hell, open your truck.
an iPhone. I got an iPhone and an iPad. One of these guys.
We both got ran over.
Yes, they did. Are you a roofing company?
Yeah.
Ah, maybe they didn't get on the truck. There it is. We found it. We found it.
You can see they both got ran over.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was in that neighborhood and I heard like something fall. You must have had it set up on your truck or something.
Something. That is
And it
so...
slid and I didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
And then I walked down that Hefner to go to the next street and
Right.
I look and I see this.
Wow.
What the heck is that?
I
And I
can't...
realized, it had been run over, and then I went about 30 feet down the way,
And there was this.
and that thing was
Yeah,
just been
I threw it on top of it. Wow.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much,
It's
sir.
on it, no problem.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
I didn't
you.
know what to do with it. I just
Yeah.
called somebody. I'm like, I think they're broke, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
All right. Well, have a great
That's
day.
amazing that y'all tracked that thing. That's cool.
I know.
Let me ask you guys a question. Did you go to Hooters earlier today? Yes.
You did?
You see the cup over there?
You can't lie. I mean, they're
He's
supposed
40
to be
years old.
lunch.
Where do you think he's going to want to eat lunch every day?
What's wrong with Hooters? That's where we've been trying.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, we tracked you to Hooters. This morning, I thought I threw my iPhone away, and I guess I didn't. Whenever the big trash day was happening, the guys were coming by to pick up the trash. I put it on the back of my car, and when I drove off, it fell off, and this guy heard it fall and picked it up, and I can't believe it. We tracked it back, and I think we're going to be able to salvage it. I'll probably be able to put a new screen on it.
Oh, it's a tragic story, people. It has a follow-up. Eric now has a brand new iPad. Both Gizmodo and Wired picked up the story, and you can find the full video online at NewsOK and on YouTube. And we were pretty sure it'd be the death of both gadgets. When you see tire tracks on your iPad, it's a bad thing. Well, speaking of death, this next video chronicles the death of the Old West. Mark Bratcher and Will Boggs talk about their documentary and Ada's most infamous moment.
So we combed through archives and we contacted descendants of people who were directly involved and got their stories and just did the best we could to take it's a very unique and it's a complicated story, but it's fact. It actually happened. It's an incredible historical event, but we took all the information we could and turned it into a documentary.
In January 1902, the Shawnee Herald published a slanted account of the incident under the headline, "Killed by Indians."
Word was received from Violet Springs of the shooting of Martin West, a 13-year-old boy, by Cephas Bruner.
Took it to PBS in Oklahoma City and showed it to them, OETA, and showed it to them, and they liked it. They suggested that we shorten it, and so we did. We went back to the drawing board, if you will, and we cut it down to 30 minutes, and it's a real strong 30 minutes, and you get the story, we feel like, and after that, they took it and offered it to a national PBS audience, and from there, it's gone on to, so far, it's only been available for 2 months. The first 2 months of its 4-year run, it's already been shown in 30 of the 50 states, and it's been shown in several Canadian provinces. So we're getting a great response from around the country.
Tell me a little bit about the significance of this in Ada history. Is it a kind of a source of pride or shame or just history?
Well, because of the nature of the event, some people feel pride in it. Some people feel shame in it, and we tried to capture that in our documentary. There are people in Ada who would be happy if it never happened, and of course there are people in Ada who think it's an interesting and exciting event. But for the most part, it's just history. It's not really anything you can look back on at this point and judge. I don't think that that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to present it as something as an episode in history, and we tried to present both sides, just like a good newspaper story would do, and just kind of give people the facts and let them decide for themselves.
And that's an interesting story. In fact, the Oklahoman did more on that story. You can find that online at newsok.com. All right, when we come back on NewsOK TV, a look at the new Big 12 and what those conference changes will mean. NewsOK has a new mobile website, and it works with any internet-enabled cell phone. So you can take NewsOK with you anywhere. View the full articles, look at the photos, all while munching on lunch. And something I'm interested in, videos. Now you can watch NewsOK videos no matter where you roam. Smartphones, choose NewsOK Mobile.
Updated look, easy navigation, videos, NewsOK Mobile. Dial into NewsOK's award-winning content, now on your web-enabled cell phone. NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
Hello, this is Mary. I can help you.
Hi, my grandma wants to know how to record my show.
Press the guide button on the remote.
Abuelita, toca el botón guide.
Now find your show on the screen and press record.
Ahora busca el programa en la
pantalla.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
Welcome to the big leagues of high school sports. Varsity, NewsOK's new high school sports page, featuring the best high school sports coverage anywhere. Varsity dedicates experienced reporters to all the local schools from Edmond to Norman, and everyone and anyone from Goodwill to Idabel. And Varsity allows you to join the coverage. Upload your photos, join the discussion with the Oklahoman's reporters on their blogs, and follow the Twitter feed and live scoreboards. NewsOK's new high school sports page, Varsity, the best high school sports coverage anywhere.
NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
Welcome back to NewsOK TV. I'm Dave Morris. Angie Bruss is vacationing somewhere exotic, I'm sure. Well, the Big 12 Conference will look different in the upcoming seasons. The Oklahoman's Jenny Carlson and Barry Trammell look at the newest changes in the Big 12, the Big 10, and the Pac-10 conferences.
I'm Barry Trammell, and I want a Big 12 football championship game, whether it's 12-team league or 10-team league.
I'm Jenny Carlson, and from the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Press Row. Barry, I've long said that I don't mind conference championship games, but I'd really love if all the BCS conferences would have them. This is a chance for maybe the Big 12 to step up and say, you know what, let's all be in this pool together. I don't think they're going to do that, though, because the money's just too darn good.
Well, you know, what we've got now is we got teams stepping in. I mean, we've got leagues stepping in and doing what you want. The Pac-10's going to add a game. The Big 10's going to add a game. And the Big 12 might drop out of the game. So, I mean, this makes no sense. The Big 12's been saying what you've saying. Hey, everybody play one. Everybody play one. Now everybody's going to play one, and the Big 12's thinking about opting out. So I just think the Big 12, the money is great. Yeah. I also think it provides such a stage for the conference, especially when all the other leagues, the SEC and the ACC, have always been playing one for the last several years. But now the Pac-10 and Big 10 are going to step on that stage. I don't think the Big 12 wants to step off that stage and just sort of cede that last Saturday of the regular season, the first Saturday of December, to everybody else.
Yeah, I think as long as everybody's in the pool, I'm a lot more in favor of it. But I tell you what, if it doesn't happen in some of those other leagues, maybe it's time to put maybe several conference marquee regular season games on that day. We've seen with the Pac-10, they've always had USC in an interesting game on that last weekend when everybody else is playing conference championship games. Maybe the Big 12 follows suit, but Barry, I just don't think it's going to be possible for the Big 12 to get the kind of TV revenue that they're talking about that's going to keep this league together without doing a conference championship game. But it's going to take some haranguing, because with 10 teams, it's not a foregone conclusion that they can have a conference championship game.
Well, they would need to either change the NCAA rule or get an exemption, because the NCAA mandates that you have to have at least 12 teams split into 2 divisions to stage a conference championship game. But a lot of people believe, Big 12 Commissioner Dan Beebe has stated so, that he thinks they could get that support to get a petition to go ahead and play one. I think they're going to want to play a conference title game for the reasons that we've talked about. I think you don't want to do it with just the top 2 teams in the league. I don't think Oklahoma and Texas are interested. Most years they're going to be top 2. I don't think they're interested in a rematch in Arlington 2 months after the showdown in Dallas. I think they're going to have to figure out a way, if they're not going to expand, if we're going to stay at 10 teams for a while, I think Bill Snyder's idea of 2 5-team divisions is not a half bad idea.
Well, and you mentioned Arlington. I think that if they're going to do this, they need to keep it in Jerry World for a while, because, you know, and I wonder what kind of animosity this could create, Barry, because a lot of what we've seen in this potential breakdown, then potential get back together of the Big 12, what we've seen is there was a lot of you know, negative feelings between people in the North and people in the South. And Jerry World is such a high-profile spot. If they could keep the Big 12 championship game there, you'd obviously have a great chance to have fantastic attendance. I think the TV viewership, people like to watch games that are being played there, even if they're not there themselves. But I wonder for the people in the North, would that be just one more concession that they would say, you know what, we're not ready to cede all that power, even though it looks like they've been willing to give a lot. I think if they're gonna do this, they need to do it right. Keep it in Jerry World for a really long time and really make it that high-profile event. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at NewsOK.com and every day in the Oklahoman.
And she's not lying. Be sure to read more from Jenny Carlson and Barry Trammell every day in the Oklahoman, which can be found in newsstands and on driveways everywhere. Or go to NewsOK.com, where you can also find this video. NewsOK's Tim Money spent an afternoon at Tinker Air Force Base. A 40-foot section of the mast from the USS Oklahoma arrived at Tinker on a C-17 cargo plane. The mast is destined for the USS Batfish War Memorial Park and Museum in Muskogee.
I made the phone call over to Hawaii and asked the guy if they had anything left over from the USS Oklahoma. And the guy just started laughing. And I said, well, I guess you think I'm crazy. He says, no. He says, I'm so glad you called. He says they dredged up a 40-foot section of the mast from the USS Oklahoma. It's over on Ford Island, and they don't know what to do with it. The Navy is threatening to cut it up. And he says, I'm so glad you called. And that's how it all got started. But it took an awful lot of work from there on. It was very, very, very hard to get the Navy to release it to us. They didn't think that our little museum was qualified to preserve it and all of that. So we had to do an awful lot of work.
It's about 45 feet long. It's about 18 inches in diameter, and it's just one of the 3 pieces. We originally thought it would be an easy deal and they would just mail it to us. Unfortunately, we didn't realize how heavy it was and how difficult a process it would be to get it from the Navy. We're very excited. I mean, it's an opportunity to help students in Oklahoma realize the value of our history.
Well, it's pretty special. As I was just telling some of my associates here, it's hard to convey to non-sailors how important his ship is to him. When you're a sailor, it's your mother, your home, and if you spend a lot of time at sea like we did, it's a fundamental island of security. This is a piece of the Oklahoma coming home.
All right, trivia time. Who discovered Tom Hanks? Anyone? All right. When we come back, we'll reveal that piece of trivia. Stay tuned.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
If you're like me, you meet yourself coming and going. I need a way to stay informed that works with my lifestyle. That's what I get with digital delivery of the Oklahoman. It's fast and easy to use. I get all the news from the print edition, plus access to the past 7 days whenever, wherever I want. You can't beat it.
Your newspaper has evolved. Log on to thenewOklahoman.com to try digital delivery completely free for 15 days.
When you're as busy as I am, it's hard to keep up. Digital delivery of the Oklahoman keeps things simple.
Welcome back to NewsOK TV. I'm Dave Morris. Angie Bruss is on vacation this week. But before she left, she and videographer Kyle Roberts took a trip to the Summer Arts Institute, which is held every summer at Quartz Mountain. And this year's featured guest actually discovered Tom Hanks back in the day. Longtime actor-director Vincent Dowling is spending a few of his summer weeks molding the minds of young actors from Oklahoma.
I'm here at Quartz Mountain for the Summer Arts Institute, and I'm here with Vincent Dowling, who's very well skilled and talented with the theater and film. He's been a director, and I think I heard you were an actor at one time as well.
Oh, no, I'm primarily an actor. Oh, yeah, very nice. And a playwright, and a manager, and I have a radio program.
Wow. So you've done a lot, and he's actually Irish. He's from Ireland. And tell us about, you actually helped for 25 years the Irish National Theatre?
Yeah, well, really, all in all, it was 30 years, but I was there as an actor and then an actor-director for 25 or 6. And then I went back. I came over here in 1976, the bicentenary, and I left the Abbey, which is a lifetime pensionable. We used to say you can't get out of the Abbey unless you've committed murder or something. But I really came over into America first in about '69, and then early '70s, and really in those '70s, really fell in love with the American theater.
But we're sure glad that you're here in the United States. Now tell us your connection with Tom Hanks.
Well, I discovered Tom, I suppose. Yeah, I discovered him for as an actor. I didn't discover him. I think his mother saw him before me. But I was auditioning for actors in Sacramento I'd been asked to direct a play in Sacramento. Oh, this is a long time ago, really. And I went out to see them, and this boy, I just knew he was amazing. It just his confidence, his presence, his appearance, his humor, all came across. And I went back to the hotel my wife and I were staying in, and I said to her, I've seen a young actor. He reminds me of Tony Curtis, only better. And I'm going to not only cast him in the play, it was Cherry Orchard, but I'm going to offer him a internship for the summer at Great Lakes Shakespeare Festival.
Very nice.
And the rest is history.
Tom Hanks is actually quoted saying that you have taught him everything he needed to know about theater. That must be a great compliment to you.
No, it's just true.
I love it. I love it. Because obviously he is well skilled, and you taught him a lot.
Yeah, but he had the talent. Yeah. Amazing talent.
Now, you're an Emmy award-winning actor, director, producer. I mean, this is obviously wonderful for these kids here at the Summer Arts Institute. How much does it mean to you to kind of give back to these kiddos?
Oh, well, there's nothing better. I suppose that's especially at any time, but especially when you're getting older. What you want to do is pass on what you know and what's good in what you know. And these kids they're amazing. These are from 14 to 17 or 18. They're just amazing.
He's made sure that we pronounce many things right. And since he's Irish, he's worked with a lot of people in Europe and stuff, and he'll stop us in the middle of our monologues or whatever and tell us, don't say tomato, say tomato, and do it all, and we have to be more aware of what we're saying and how we finish the sentences and make the words more alive. It's completely compelling, and anyone that comes here should be lucky, because it is a very rare experience that a lot of people don't ever get.
Okay, so last night we saw you do a presentation. You read some poems and such?
Yeah.
Tell us about what you did.
Oh, well, did poems and such. There's some of my own poems, and read little pieces from great writers whose their work has influenced me enormously, so that I've developed a belief in theater and the difference between actually when something is an art.
He's been in theater for a long time, and you know what art is, and I'm sure these kids are learning a lot. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Vincent Dowling, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Angie and Kyle filed a couple videos from Quartz Mountain. Be sure to check those out on NewsOK.com. Now, the other day, I'm talking with my colleague Steve Lackmeyer up on the business desk for an upcoming OKC Central video, and he says, hey, I got this cool story. It's about Elijah Svetsov. He's from Russia. He's building a model of downtown Oklahoma City, and he's never even been here. Check this out. Elijah Svetsov has never been to Oklahoma City. In fact, he lives in St. Petersburg. No, not Florida, Russia. But he's building a model of downtown Oklahoma City anyway. The Oklahoman Steve Lackmeyer reports the 25-year-old Svetsov has only seen photos of Oklahoma City's downtown on the internet. His photos, which first appeared on the Oklahoma City section of skyscrapercity.com, show an emerging skyline. It covers all of the central business district right down to the neon sign at the Union Bus Station. As Lackmeyer found out, building models is Svetsov's hobby. He assembled his first building model of the World Trade Center in 1997. And soon, Svetsov was searching an assortment of newspapers and magazines for images of American cities he could clip and save. So in December of 2009, he contemplated building a model of an entire downtown city. But why Oklahoma City? Well, it turns out he was looking for an average American city with various styles: modern, postmodern, even Art Deco. He used Google Images and Doug Ludenbach's local site, DougDog.blogspot.com, along with Google Earth, Google Maps, Bing, even Microsoft Paint. For more on downtown Oklahoma City, be sure to visit Steve Lackmeyer's blog at OKCCentral.com. All right, and you can learn something every week from Steve Blackmeyer. Be sure to check out his blog at okccentral.com. Now, when we come back, Lyric Theater invades Jimmy's Egg.
NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
Dave, it is game time.
Angie, NewsOK is covering OU and OSU football from all the angles.
With photos, videos, live chats, blogs, and text alerts.
From coaches, players, predictions, and analysis.
With the most sports reporters covering the games.
So you'll never miss a thing.
Stay with NewsOK for your team's latest news.
Powered by the Oklahoman. NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
If you're like me, you meet yourself coming and going. I need a way to stay informed that works with my lifestyle. That's what I get with digital delivery of the Oklahoman. It's fast and easy to use. I get all the news from the print edition, plus access to the past 7 days whenever, wherever I want. You can't beat it.
Your newspaper has evolved. Log on to thenewOklahoman.com to try digital delivery completely free for 15 days.
When you're as busy as I am, it's hard to keep up. Digital delivery of the Oklahoman keeps things simple.
I love breakfast. I'm Dave Morris. Welcome back to NewsOK TV. And yes, I love me some breakfast. Jimmy's Egg, with numerous locations around Oklahoma City, serves up a fine breakfast. And recently, cast members from Lyric Theater's season opener, Pump Boys and Dinettes, performed songs from the show. The song is set at a local diner, so why not at a Jimmy's Egg?
Pump Boys and Dinettes was written in about 1978 and 9 by a couple of guys up in New York who were from Western North Carolina. It's just kind of a slice of life thing about these imaginary people from this part of the world, from the Appalachian Mountains. We came here because this is kind of representative of the feeling of our diner. So we decided, Danielle decided that this would be fun to come down and play for lunch, and so that's where we were singing for our lunch. You can get more information about Pump Boys and Dinettes at lyrictheaterokc.com.
That is how NewsOK TV ends for this week. Again, you can find these videos and plenty more online at newsok.com. Be sure to check out Cox's on-demand channel. Just go to the Cox channel. There's a button on your remote for that very thing. NewsOK TV is among the growing local content you can find on the Cox channel. All right, I'll be back next week. So, Angie, until then, enjoy your summer, everyone.